Welcome back to another episode of Measured. We actually have a special episode for you this week. We got a guest. We are on our 11th episode, and it is just fitting. I wanted to make myself do 10 by myself because as I've mentioned many times, I don't enjoy doing podcasts. But here we are. So today we are going to, we'll introduce John here in a moment, but we'll talk about, we actually have our own podcast for a different company together called Zero Downtime. We're going to talk about how that has affected our organic social. We're going to talk about how podcasts can just overall help your SEO. We're going to dive a little bit into AI ads for Google. Then we'll have our customer question and featured project on how we always end. But we will start with introducing our guests. We have John Hass here with us. And I'll let you talk about yourself, John.
Well, hi, Logan. From the episodes I've watched, I thought a hat was part of the dress code.
You know, you don't notice. And now if anyone ever watches our Zero Downtime podcast, John is usually in the outfit he's wearing.
Yeah.
And Logan makes sure he wears a different color every single time. Mm-hmm. So when you go to our YouTube page, that it doesn't look like just one image. So for Measured, I thought I needed to keep switching everything up so things look different.
Well, I got the hat.
Why don't you tell us about yourself, John?
All right. Well, I'm John Hass. I'm from Spencer, Iowa. I'm one of the owners of Advanced Network Professionals. As Logan mentioned, we run a podcast together called Zero Downtime. Zero Downtime is all about technology and whatever I want to talk about. And then Logan rides along.
I do.
And usually learn something every time.
I was just going to say, it is educational, and it is usually what John is interested in at that particular day. And on the screen, if you're just listening, we do have our logo up for our Zero Downtime. But I usually would just describe Zero Downtime as a tech podcast that is very much on what is currently happening inside technology, different trends across the board. It is what I like. The difference between Measured and Zero Downtime is that John always has so many different topics. Like this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. And Measured is more just focused on a topic or two per episode.
And we're not afraid to get controversial.
No, we'll dive that into a little bit of some of the fun things that have happened along the way. Zero Downtime, we are at 18 episodes. Our 19th one will launch on Tuesday. And so...
feels like yesterday.
It does just feel like yesterday for that. So the first topic I just wanted to chat about was organic social. And up first is kind of like, what is organic social? And most people don't realize that, yes, posting, so just your regular post, if you have a picture with the post, if you upload a photo or a video, or you do a reel, but even you commenting goes into organic social. So it's all the interactions that you can do online organically. And how has that experience been since we have launched Zero Downtime for you?
Yeah, good. We learned how to do the shorts. And obviously the shorts were a huge success for us. It got our content in front of, millions of eyes at this point that probably would have never watched the podcast to begin with. And, that's been great.
Or just people that didn't even know us.
And don't know who we are. They're not afraid to be controversial with us online, which is great because it all feeds the algorithm, right? All news is good news, I think is the kind of thing. And if somebody wants to say something bad about the post or something good about the post, not like, you got to have a little bit of a thick skin, right? Because everybody's a keyboard warrior, right?
We've realized that more people are easily happy to let you know what you are saying that they don't agree with versus agreeing with you.
That's right. And so that's kind of been the experience. Like I say, you got to have a little bit of a thick skin if you're going to get into this business.
And for organic social, we are posting on many different platforms. So we're not just saying go out and do one. We have Facebook and Meta and TikTok and LinkedIn and X. I'm trying to think if I missed anything.
I don't think so.
And then, of course, YouTube.
Yeah, right. Yep.
So our podcast can be found on any streaming podcast that you would listen to a podcast on. And you can always watch our recordings on YouTube, the full length ones. And so kind of diving into organic social, one thing, and up on the screen, we have a screenshot of one of the times that things got a little controversial. And so with that, I'm going to jump back to having John back on the screen. Why don't you talk about what happened when we had that large boost?
I said something I didn't think was very controversial, but it turned out to be controversial. Now, I understand that your audience probably is different than the audience that would normally watch our podcast, right?
Yep.
There'll be a little bit more techie side people. So what I said was, it's impossible to uninstall OneDrive and the Xbox app from Windows 11. That's what I said.
And when you said it, obviously you did not think it would be controversial at all.
No, I did not. And this is after I spent half a day trying to uninstall Xbox and OneDrive. I tried everything. And the comments, some relevant, some not relevant. Like they would say, well, you can, because I did say you could uninstall it once you have your profile, but you can't uninstall it before you log in. And people were like, oh, you can use group policy and you can do all of these things to uninstall it. And none of that was possible because you had to log in as the user. I didn't want it at all on the computer.
Yes. And everyone came out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
And definitely let it,
yeah,
that you were wrong.
Well, I wasn't wrong.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, I popped my phone open on Saturday morning because I think that one came out in the evening of Friday or something.
Yep.
And I popped my phone open on Saturday morning and holy smokes, we got some stuff going on here.
And so one takeaway that we just wanted to share from that experience was, although we had so many people jumping on and being negative, the amount of followers, we doubled our followers almost that night.
In one post.
Yes. In one post, we doubled our followers. Now, that being said, Advanced Network Professionals, we didn't have a ton to start with.
Right.
But we have never put a focus on social. It wasn't just part of Advanced Network Professionals has been around since 2017. And yes, we are almost 10 years into it where finally we are focusing more on social. But so it wasn't a drastic number of followers that we did end up with, but we did double it just in a night.
Well, it wasn't 4 to 8.
No. I think we're at like 760 now.
And we have not paid for any of it.
No.
I think that your people need to hear that. I mean, I spend an hour a week probably setting up for the podcast. We spend about an hour recording the podcast. You have some time splitting up into probably another hour making shorts and doing all those things. So 3 hours a week we put in. So there's the investment, but in all reality, we don't spend a ton of time on the podcast to get the followers, to see the people. I mean, 3 hours of time, sure, it might be $300 and some of billable time, right? That we're dedicating to this.
Yep.
But buy $300 worth of ads, you'd never get 760 followers, $300 worth of ads.
No,
not in one post.
No, and we're not giving anything away. Like it is just straight up content.
Yep.
It is us talking. We do obviously post other things out on our socials, but the majority of all the success has came from our reels, from our episodes of the podcast. So I guess I'm going to jump back to the screen. The biggest thing that I just want to point out is although we had that huge spike, it reset our baseline. So the number of people that were just originally seeing it doubled. The number of followers we were getting a day doubled. And it has consistently stayed there. And that's just kind of what the unique component of all of this is that although someone may have taken that and thought it was all bad, there was obviously a lot of people that agreed. They just didn't say anything.
Well, it's no different than us being contractors, right? If we do a really good job, maybe they'll tell one person, right? If we do a bad job, they're going to tell 5 people.
Yes.
And that's the thing, is leaving a like is not as loud as saying that I'm stupid.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's been really fun too is seeing what pieces of content, what topics take off. Because anytime we talk about Microsoft lately, and you're on Facebook, we get a lot of interest of people paying attention to that. But when you jump over to YouTube, it is a little bit different. The people that were freaking out on Facebook had no issues when it came to YouTube on that same post.
Yeah. So let's use TikTok, for example. One of our more popular posts on TikTok was when we were talking about the hiring process. And it was a post about the difference between a network switch and a router, and about how people didn't know what it was. I mean, that didn't catch any traction on Facebook, didn't catch any traction on YouTube, but TikTok, it like boom. So what does that mean? It means maybe people on TikTok are looking for jobs, and so they get relevant content about jobs. I have no idea. I don't know how this works.
Yep.
I just get to talking to a mic for an hour and get called stupid later.
Just your favorite thing.
Yeah, I know all my favorite things.
So our episodes are normally about 40 to 50 minutes, roughly. And normally from there, we for sure on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, post out 14 reels. So about 2 a day for 7 days is what that kind of is. And then when it comes to TikTok and YouTube, they get close to 16 to 18. We do put a little bit more out there on those, and it has been a nice, so far, has been a nice amount of content going out.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying that you should only do that because I think being authentic and showing what your company is doing, when they're doing it,
Right.
who you're working with, how it's going, those are all huge things to put into your organic social.
And even the time you post, right? So if you're running a quilting company, let's say, you maybe want to post more in the evenings because the quilters are watching videos of quilting. Like, we have to learn about the people that watch your videos. I mean, we do IT videos.
Yep.
And IT videos, they're going to be watching, those on their break.
Yes.
At work, and probably not thinking a lot about it when they're at home.
No.
Right. So it depends on what you're selling and what you're doing on the time you put it out.
Yeah. And even since we launched Measured versus like when we launched Zero Downtime, they've had drastically different amount of followers at different times. Everything has happened completely different. And it is so much when you think about all the topics and the people that are what they're finding interesting and how they interact. Because like for Measured, our most interaction actually comes on X.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Like, it just is nuts. Like, just knowing how Zero Downtime, everything kind of gets interacted through. Yep. Honestly, our most interactions, comments, everything is coming through X.
Oh, crazy.
And that isn't the same, which we didn't have all of our Zero Downtime initially out on X. They are all there now as they go. But it is just interesting where your followers do come. And so just kind of diving into the podcast itself, I guess first and foremost, when you're starting your podcast, you should realize that it isn't going to be easy. You're not going to have a lot of people following you immediately. Up on the screen, we just kind of had what our first 30 days was. So we had, in what we do is we have long form and short form content. The long form would be the initial video. So our initial episode, which is, like I said, usually 40 to 50 minutes long, we post once a week. We record on a Tuesday. It comes out the following Monday.
We don't really edit.
No. We record, start, stop. It gets, we put an intro and an exit, a little bit of music. That's about it. We try to keep it simple. And for that, is keeping it simple to me is so that we can repetitively do it.
Right.
The harder you make everything, unless you have this production team behind you, which we don't, you're looking at it. I mean, we would have invested in the equipment that we're recording on. But beyond that, it is just us spending a few hours a week so we can have enough content that we can share organically. Yep. Is really the biggest component about it.
We want eyeballs on our videos and people listening in their cars. And so we just pump out the episodes. And I mean, I like to think they're quality.
I agree.
But the topics are relevant and all that. But I don't want to spend a lot of time editing, because I think that if we spent a lot of time editing and changing and doing all of that, it would become disinteresting to us to keep going.
Yeah. I was like, we wouldn't want to spend the amount of hours every single week when we're the ones doing it.
Right.
And so I think that's just a huge thing as well that you realize is that it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yep.
And honestly, you're more authentic when it isn't. I mean, I get there are some large production podcasts out there that have the viewerships are through the roof, which when we get there, we'll have that company. But so the on screen is our initial period. So we started in November 24th of 2025 was when our first episode launched. And then to today. And it's just fun watching your growth compound. So month over month, how we have more viewers, how people are spending more time, how our subscribers have grown from when we started at nothing to now. It's just been a fun experience just to kind of see everything come together. It's also realizing how hard it is to organically just get people to want to subscribe, to want to follow.
I mean, Facebook and Meta, whatever you call them on this show. I mean, they want you to buy the ads.
Yes.
Right. The YouTube wants you to buy the ads.
Yep.
So they don't make organic easy. However, if you make content that's engaging, they have to play it because it's keeping people on their platform.
For sure. And I would just say too, even if you are not buying something from that company, but you like their content or you like who they are, you like how they represent themselves, interact with it.
Yeah.
You are going to help that company grow organically on its own all through those interactions.
A like is free.
Yes. I don't remember. It might be a Gary Vee book, but it was all about just like a thankless society.
Oh, yeah.
And all you have to do is go like and comment positive things on like 10 posts a day and how much you can change the like output of someone's trajectory on those platforms. And it's just kind of it's that concept of just, if you like it, like it. Like there's nothing wrong with liking someone's post that you see that you find engaging. 100%. All you're doing is helping them.
100%.
So we're not sitting here telling you that you have to start a podcast, but there is a lot of benefit to get long form video content. Video content is huge online anyway. You have more success when it's, the shorts and reels. So if you have a short and reel video, perfect. If you can get a face in that short and reel video, even better.
Yeah, we've done things with animations on A&P, and I think they're good. I didn't make them, but I think they're good. And what we find is it doesn't get interaction. I mean, it doesn't work.
No,
like cute little not real people videos. It's real people in pictures, get likes and all that.
Yep.
And real people in video get the interactions.
And I would stress hard to stay away from too much AI, just complete generated images.
100%.
Because those, I think, get regulated, especially on Instagram, but they don't help you.
Right, no.
People nowadays can see it and go, well, that was AI generated, especially when you have text on it, because most of the time it is not clear or spelled correctly. So really pay attention if you are using AI generated content, because there's a lot of tells that you can look at that and just see that, hey, there's a problem here.
Right. And we talk a lot about that on Zero Downtime.
Yes.
About detecting AI and all of that kind of stuff. It's huge, and tech people are pretty good at it. Most other people aren't.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so with that podcast, it will help you just in SEO in general. So YouTube is still widely considered the top or the number 2 search engine. I am sure this keeps changing now with all these different AI platforms. So what 2027 will bring, who knows? But just, you have to think of that. Like, you're creating all this content, you are putting it out on YouTube where people are searching. You're going to have that information. Take the time to have a great description that really talks about everything that you did talk about in that episode, or the key points of that, so people know what's going to happen or what is there. But then even on all your little shorts and reels, whatever little description that you put on those is huge. Now, tags are still somewhat important depending what platform. The weight of them has gone way down, especially like on Facebook. Right. You can put them on there, it don't matter.
It's basically non-existent on X as well.
Yeah. I was like, they're just kind of a thing of the past. Sometimes you still put them on, sometimes you still don't. I usually mix it up nowadays, but it's not so much something that you focus on versus the content that you're posting. Did you know that LinkedIn is the second highest cited site in AI?
Cited site okay, so they use it as reference.
Yes.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yes. So just think of all the opportunities.
I don't even have a LinkedIn account.
That surprises me.
Do you know why I have never had a LinkedIn account?
Why, John?
Okay, sorry, that's your show.
Go.
But I've never had a LinkedIn account, or I've only ever had temporary LinkedIn accounts to communicate with somebody on LinkedIn, because you make connections, right? That's part of what you do.
Yep.
And in my original business, which was in telephone, we would have a group of customers, and those customers would bring us minutes and conferencing traffic, right? And so everyone would ask me if I have a LinkedIn, and I say, well, what happens with that? Well, I'll follow you on LinkedIn. Well, then I'm thinking to myself, so you're saying all my competitors can see the people that are following me, so they immediately know who to poach.
Yep.
So that's why.
And that makes sense. I feel like LinkedIn especially has so many people that like you can pay. I mean, LinkedIn has its own plans now. And you get so many like direct messages that you essentially can send to other individuals. I mean, that you want to connect, and they're just trying to sell you something.
Yeah, right.
I find those really annoying. I don't ever accept those. But it's just knowing things like that, knowing that you could be going out, if you're not posting any of your business social content there, that you should be, because of how cited it currently is being in AI. So just knowing something, Reddit's like number one.
Okay. That makes sense.
So it's like Reddit, LinkedIn. I'm not going to try to get the rest because I knew those two off the top of my head.
If you say something controversial, it might help your podcast.
It might help it. 154i is just way up there. So, moving on past that, I guess, is there anything else you'd like to add for anyone who is wanting to start a podcast or anything for organic social?
So the only thing I think I would say is you might feel like your business doesn't have enough to talk about in a podcast, whether it's weekly or monthly or whatever. And I would say that generally speaking, that's probably untrue. It's just one of those things that it's hard to, you might think it's hard from the outset. And it is hard for me to find technical articles every week and stuff every week to do, but you'll get there.
Yeah.
You just got to go out and you got to do it.
And I think if you start by just like finding what topic, like what one topic do you know that you could discuss this week?
Right.
And then building from there.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's honestly what I do.
We go in not knowing how long our podcasts are going to be.
And nor do we care.
We don't care either, but it always ends up being about the same.
Yeah. I was like, once you get into it and you're talking and you realize that things are going to hit you, examples that you've done, people that you've helped, like all of that's going to come back and be relevant for whatever you're speaking about at that time.
Yep.
So
that's what I had to say.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah. Don't be afraid.
I mean, like I said earlier, I don't like talking.
Yeah.
I don't like listening to myself back.
Oh, you just stop it. I don't like listening.
Yeah, that's you. So one of the other quick things I wanted to talk about, and in our Zero Downtime podcast, we had talked about it a while back on how ChatGPT ads were coming to the free version.
Yeah.
And so ads are now starting to show for Google AI mode and Google AI overview. And supposedly they've been testing this since May 2005.
2005?
2025.
I'm like, that's before AI existed. I don't believe that at all.
There's the controversial comment. May of 2025. And then in March of 2026, they released that they are pretty much live and active. And so ads can now show above, below, or within AI overviews. Google says text and shopping ads from existing search, shopping, and performance max campaigns can be eligible within AI overviews. Google also says advertisers already using performance max, shopping, and search with broad match, including AI Max for search, can be eligible for AI mode. Google says you cannot target AI overviews directly, and it does not currently provide segmented reporting for ads shown within AI overviews.
So I have the meme for next week, because we do the meme of the day on the show. And my meme is actually, you've seen, I don't know if you probably haven't seen Breaking Bad, but there's the point in the show where they figure out who Heisenberg is. I'm not going to wreck the show. And the guy is sitting on the toilet, right, reading a book, and he realizes who Heisenberg is. And it's in the comment, or the words say, my teacher, when she reads my report, and it's talking about the Civil War, and then it says brought to you by Heinz ketchup, because the kid just copied out the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I guess the biggest thing is that you can't really control it. It's going to show up there already if you're bidding on them. I think when I was reading the article, anything that has shopping or travel. So if you're selling something or it's on travel, those are more likely to show up in AI than any of the other things right now.
Sure.
Anything that is still informational searches really isn't pulling ads other than if you are trying to go somewhere or buy something and it's giving you recommendations, then those ads are supposed to be more relevant.
Sure.
And obviously with those, there's no plans. So it's not like ads aren't going to show up. There's no free, everything's free in that one. So one thing just kind of pay attention to, and if you are running your own campaigns, it'll be interesting once the tracking is a little bit more to know like how much are you spending in AI and is it working?
And is it working? Yeah.
Because that to me is it's gonna change the game on how you bid. Google is always trying to take your money.
Well, I mean, ads are their biggest business.
Yes.
That's how Google makes all their money.
Well, I just think like all of a sudden within AI, you can go and there's different platforms, which we talked about on our episode last week, but you can go see like how many mentions, the citations that you have, the pages that are being cited back to your site. But you can be shown, your impressions can be huge. I can't imagine your ads being shown that many times.
Right.
I mean, I guess you are paying per click, not paying per view. So I guess that is a component to it, but it'll be interesting to see if spend starts to fluctuate more than it ever used to.
Sure.
Because of AI.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. So we're going to move into our customer question of the day, and it is, how do we know what the right budget is for Google Ads? And there is not one catch-all right answer for like that magic number when you are trying to deal with Google Ads. You have different times to deal with different times. When you are selling a direct product that someone can come on, purchase, buy, and they can go through that whole process and you can easily track that conversion all the way through, you can easily find out what your return is.
Sure.
So when you start with us with Google Ads, we always try and figure out like what is your true like break even return need to be? Like how much is your product? How much are you selling it for? What's shipping? Like how much do you pay an employee to do all the work to get it out the door?
Right.
Like we can get as deep as in detail that you want. Obviously we can do different forecasts to determine what the pay-per-click is going for, to know like this could be the average of what you could expect to do. So to know, but in the end, you have to know. And if you are just a service, it's a lot harder to track all the way through unless you are really dedicated. We have one customer who's extremely dedicated and does do all that work. They know all the phone calls that come in because we do call tracking with those ads. They actually do sell online, but their product is a lot more expensive. So people aren't as comfortable just paying a couple $1,000s right when they land on a site. But if they get them on the phone, their
return on spend,
yes, is extremely well because they can close that deal. And the people it's very niche.
Sure.
So if they're taking the time to call you, it's because they have been looking for your service and are happy to finally find it. So what I'm trying to say is that they have to track the call all the way through and then know that that call actually turned into a sale in the end. But you're talking like a 20-day period sometimes because they may estimate it out because not everything is cut and dry to the one price that you see on their website. And so I guess what I'm trying to get back to is how much time that you want to put into it to know what that return on ad spend is going to be, to realize how much you should be spending. But I always tell people, if you're not willing to spend up to $2,000 a month, it may not be worth it for you. And then I always followed up with, we don't just spend your money to spend it. So even though you may set your budget at that, if you aren't getting the return that you need, we're not going to overspend it. But you have to be willing to spend a little bit more.
I think I know the answer to this, actually.
What's your answer, John?
Well, how much the spend should be?
Yeah.
How close to free can you get? Not very close.
Not very close. Not in Google Ads. If you're wanting cheap advertising, Meta is usually the route that you go for that. And then we're going to jump just into, we always end on our featured project. And our featured project this week is Agona Municipal Utilities. Obviously, they're out of Agona, Iowa. They offer water, electric, cable, internet, and telephone to their community that they have there. And it was just a fun redesign that we had done Now, this would have launched last year for them, but we're just excited to share the project with you. We have been very fortunate to work with them now for multiple different years, and this would be our second or third redesign that we've done for them. But feel free to check that site out at netamu.com. Well, John, you have any final words?
I don't.
That's all right. Please like, comment, and subscribe on whichever platform you're tuning in on, and we'll catch you next time.
I'll see you later.